Which U.S. federal law specifically addresses the privacy of children under the age of 13 online? A. HIPAA, B. COPPAC, GLBAD, FERPA. Correct answer. B. COPPA. The California Consumer Privacy Act, CCPA, grants California residents the right to A. Request a business to disclose the categories and specific pieces of personal information it has collected. B. Opt in before their personal information is collected. C. Be forgotten and have all their personal information deleted upon request, without exceptions. D. Receive monetary compensation for the use of their personal data. Correct answer. A. Request a business to disclose the categories and specific pieces of personal information it has collected. Under HIPAA, a covered entity includes A. All technology companies processing health data. B. Healthcare providers that conduct certain transactions in electronic form. C. Educational institutions holding student medical records. D. Health and wellness app developers. Correct answer. B. Healthcare providers that conduct certain transactions in electronic form. In the context of the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, GLBA, what is the primary purpose of the Safeguards Rule? A. To ensure financial institutions provide customers with a privacy notice at the time of establishing a customer relationship. B. To protect consumers from unfair and deceptive practices in financial products and services. C. To require financial institutions to explain their information sharing practices to their customers and to safeguard sensitive data. D. To regulate the collection and use of personal information by credit reporting agencies. Correct answer. C. To require financial institutions to explain their information sharing practices to their customers and to safeguard sensitive data. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, is designed to A. Protect information collected by consumer reporting agencies. B. Regulate the use of consumer credit information by businesses. C. Ensure that individuals have the right to access their credit information and correct any inaccuracies. D. All of the above. Correct answer. D. All of the above. Under the Privacy Act of 1974, federal agencies A. Are required to publish their record-keeping systems in the Federal Register. B. Can disclose any record about an individual without acquiring consent. C. Are not obligated to allow individuals to access and amend their records. D. Have no restrictions on the collection of personal information. Correct answer. A. Are required to publish their record-keeping systems in the Federal Register. The Virginia Consumer Data Protection Act, VCDPA, grants consumers the right to opt out of A. The processing of personal data for purposes of targeted advertising. B. The sale of personal data. C. Profiling in furtherance of decisions that produce legal or similarly significant effects. D. All of the above. Correct answer. D. All of the above. Under the Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act, BIPA, businesses must A. Inform and obtain consent from individuals before collecting their biometric data. B. Provide a detailed biometric data retention and destruction schedule. C. Make their biometric data handling policies publicly available. D. All of the above. Correct answer. D. All of the above. The principle of data minimization under the CCPA requires that businesses A. Collect personal information only to the extent necessary for the purposes specified at the point of collection. B. Retain personal information for no longer than is necessary for the purposes for which it was collected. C. Ensure personal information is protected against unauthorized access and disclosure. D. Provide consumers with access to and the ability to delete their personal information. Correct answer. A. Collect personal information only to the extent necessary for the purposes specified at the point of collection. When a business is subject to a data breach under the CCPA, it must A. Notify affected California residents within 72 hours. B. Offer credit monitoring services to affected individuals. C. Report the breach to the California Attorney General if it affects more than 500 California residents. D. Encrypt or redact personal information to avoid future breaches. Correct answer. B. Offer credit monitoring services to affected individuals. Under the New York Shield Act, private information includes A. Biometric information. B. Email addresses without a password. C. Publicly available information lawfully made available from government records. D. Consumer purchase history. Correct answer. A. Biometric information. A technology company based in Texas develops an app that collects users' geolocation data. Under which condition would the company be required to comply with the CCPA? A. The app is available for download globally. B. The company has annual gross revenues in excess of $25 million. C. The company buys, receives, or sells the personal information of 50,000 or more California residents, households, or devices annually. D. The company derives 50% or more of its annual revenues from selling Texas residents' personal information. Correct answer. C. The company buys, receives, or sells the personal information of 50,000 or more California residents, households, or devices annually. An online retailer experiences a data breach, exposing customers' credit card numbers. Under which federal law must they report the breach? A. There is no specific federal law requiring the reporting of this type of data breach to consumers. B. Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, GDPR. C. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. D. Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. Correct answer. A. There is no specific federal law requiring the reporting of this type of data breach to consumers. A social media company allows third-party apps to access users' personal data without user consent. This practice would most likely be in violation of A. The Federal Trade Commission Act, FTC Act. B. The Electronic Communications Privacy Act, ECPA. C. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. D. The Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, CFAA. Correct answer. A. The Federal Trade Commission Act, FTC Act. A financial institution uses personal information for marketing purposes without obtaining explicit consent from the individuals. This practice is primarily regulated by A. The Federal Trade Commission Act, FTC Act. B. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, GDPR. C. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA. D. The Electronic Fund Transfer Act, EFTA. Correct answer. B. The Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, GDPR. In which scenario is an employer most likely to violate the Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act, GINA, when it A. Uses genetic information in making employment decisions. B. Offers health insurance that covers genetic tests. C. Collects genetic information as part of voluntary wellness programs. D. Inadvertently receives genetic information through lawful health or genetic services. Correct answer. A. Uses genetic information in making employment decisions. A US-based e-commerce company stores customer data in the EU. To transfer personal data back to the US in compliance with the GDPR, the company must A. Rely solely on the Privacy Shield framework. B. Use standard contractual clauses or other valid transfer mechanisms. C. Obtain consent from each customer for each specific data transfer. D. Ensure the data is anonymized before transfer. Correct answer. B. Use standard contractual clauses or other valid transfer mechanisms. Under the CCPA, a sale of personal information does not include A. Transferring personal information to a third party for monetary or other valuable consideration. B. Sharing personal information with a service provider for business purposes under a written contract. C. Disclosing personal information to a third party as part of a merger, acquisition, or bankruptcy. Offering personal information to a third party in exchange for free services. Correct answer. B. Sharing personal information with a service provider for business purposes under a written contract. A U.S. healthcare provider discloses protected health information, FI, to a third-party service provider without a business associate agreement, BAA. This action is a violation of A. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, Privacy Rule. B. The Federal Trade Commission Act, FTC Act. C. The Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health, HITECH, Act. D. Both A and C. Correct answer. D. Both A and C. Which federal law is primarily concerned with protecting children's online privacy? A. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. B. The Family Educational Rights in Privacy, FERPA. A. It's Correct answer. A. The Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA.